Welcome back to another podcast. This time, it's Don't Slouch on the Couch. Well, the couch is right there, it's out of frame, and I'm on a chair, but that's besides the point. In this podcast, or show if you may, we will be speaking about the various ideas around different types of topics. It's going to be like a news channel. I've always wanted to be a reporter, and if I can't get it, I'm gonna make it. All right, it's called manifestation. So, the first idea is introducing this show, and on the introductory episode, or what they usually call the pilot, I'm just going to be speaking about the random ideas that are going to occur to me while making the show and while speaking to you and giving you guys information after extensive research. And trust me, I love researching, so I'm going to give you the sources and everything for the information. So the first thing that we're going to be speaking about is the setup. This is the first ever time that I actually decide to set up a podcast in a non-lazy way and in an actual way that looks professional. You do not see anything behind the scenes. There's just a white wall behind you guys because I have this angle, right? So most of the time when I look up, all I look at is white walls. Very intriguing. And then you have this microphone that's here just for the decor because everything is being recorded on this little guy. And then you have notes that are blank. Yeah, that's all it is for the setup. I have my computer right here in front of me in case I need a quick lookup, and everything's set. So what are the different types of ideas that I'm going to be speaking about throughout this show? They vary, right? I'm intrigued in thought, in patterns, in philosophy, in physics, in a lot of different things. So I'm going to be speaking about a specific topic in general, and then going in depth through different types of branches, the different pillars that hold this topic together, its relevance in our day-to-day life, and its religious aspects, such as philosophers and their belief of God, and the way that impacts their thought, the way that impacts your thought. And I'm going to be obviously plugging in the merch and my book from time to time. So yeah, this is going to be a very nice change, different uniform for me, Muhammad Talks. So, what is today's episode about? We could talk about a lot of things, but why not stick to the topic? Don't slouch on the couch. Why did I choose the specific title, right? Well, a lot of times people are put into situations where they think the easiest thing to do is relax upon the situation and act as if it is a natural thing. When in fact, that is when you fall off your guard into the comfort zone. So, when you're put in a place where you need to be relaxing, you shouldn't always relax. All right? This is one of the most twisted ideas and one of many that are going to be on this show. But let's expand, right? Say I bring you into my house. Think I'm going to put you in a scenario where it's an action spy movie and the spy is going into the evil person's lair. You know it, the good person doesn't, or the good person doesn't, because I'm the narrator. Either way. So, you sit on the couch and the first thing you expect is to relax, but the spy is always on guard, right? They never relax, they never let their guard down, for the reason being that if you ever let your guard down, you could be hit from the back, the front, beneath you, and even on top of you, from above or from below. So what the spy decides to do is analyze everything, right? And they analyze the room they're in, they analyze the situation, the reason for which they are there, which they still do not understand and is very unclear to them. But here, I need you to focus on one thing, and it's that they were first brought into a non-hostile zone. What does that mean? It means that it's not something to make you move around, to make you suspicious. It's just a random living room, campfire. I'm going to probably put in some illustrations for you to understand. And a couch. And as soon as they just grab a little bit of peaceful understanding that, you know what, this is a good situation, trying to calm themselves down, boom, action movie style, they get caught by some traps, and then a whole plot happens, an interrogation, then for some reason they get to escape, and that doesn't matter to us. What matters is that when you are always brought to a level of ease, that is when you're most vulnerable. And you don't see that in just actions or movies. That is actually a law that every life form obeys by. And such as a person who watches National Geographic Wild all the time, I also see that when it comes to animals, and it's very easy to spot when it comes to humans. We are caught off guard when we are sleeping, when we are in thought. Catching someone off guard is changing the situation at a rapid pace where they can't understand everything that's going on, which leads to different types of reactions depending on the situation. You're calm and you get frightened. Excuse me, a little bit sick. You're calm and you get frightened. What happens? Boom. It's a jump scare. You are frightened. You go into defensive mode. Some people pull out the fists. Some people pull out their knees and start running. Now, another situation. You are caught off guard by a question. That happens to a lot of people and a lot of celebrities, and not just celebrities, but even to random your average Joe. He's caught off guard by, did you kill that man? And he doesn't even know what they're talking about. And what's an important thing is that always being on your guard is impossible. That's why one of the great topics that we're going to be talking about is black swans in philosophy, and unpredictability versus predictability, the art of being, ethics, morals, etc. A lot of different great and various topics. But the first one, as today, is guard. Right? Never letting your guard down, never going at ease, and vulnerability. Why? Because in today's life, we're being fed things that are seemingly normal. Slowly but surely, there has been many experiments that can prove this, and all I want you to do, and you've probably seen it already, sorry for smacking you, or smacking your ears, on social media, and it is when you put a frog in boiling water. When you put a frog in boiling water, it immediately understands that, this is a different environment that I'm not used to. The water's too hot, and immediately jumps out. It understands that situation. But if you slowly but surely heat the water up to a level that is hotter than the first frog, which immediately jumped out, the frog won't notice because it will understand that it's slowly changing, slowly adapting until it does. Anyways, so what is the difference between the first and second frog? The first frog is immediately given the dose, we'll say poison, which is the hot water. The second frog is slowly getting used to it. And that is the death of many people. Many people get used to their daily life, get used to their daily schedule, so that if anything bad or anything interrupts the routine, if they can handle it, it's easy. If they can't, that'll make their day change, their mood change, their entire system shifts. And that's why being in the comfort zone or being in a routine that is always the same, never changing, is bad. And that is how history presents itself. History repeats itself. Why? Because people never learn. The more peace you try to create, the more war it leads to.